If you have a 2023 and up Ford Super Duty like you see right behind me, no matter what you're doing with your vehicle, getting some ditch light brackets and putting the world's brightest off-road pod lights on them is probably the best idea you can do today. Today, I want to talk about the all-new ditch light brackets from Morimoto. These ditch light kits have been through numerous rounds of design, prototyping, and testing directly on the truck to ensure perfect compatibility. Everything lines up with the pre-existing mounting points to create an installation that is truly modification-free. Each bracket is laser cut from 304 stainless steel and then powder coated. So what kind of off-road pod lights does Morimoto recommend putting on a bracket like this? To be honest, it's any of the new off-road banger lineup. So there is the 4-banger, which you see here, the 2-banger, and a BigBanger. I want to dive into every one of these. I'm going to breeze through it. So if you need to go to our other videos to watch all about the beam patterns, go do that. We got a ton of videos on off-road pod lights from Morimoto on our YouTube channel. Starting with the 4-banger. This is the king of off-road pod lights. It uses 3 LEDs instead of 4, which is pretty common for this 3-inch size pod light. Now, there are 4 different beam patterns. Now, there used to be only 3, but now there's 4 because they've included a flood beam pattern. If you're putting them on this ditch light, I would not recommend the flood beam pattern. This right now is the wide beam pattern, which is pretty cool. The wide beam pattern 4-banger is actually the most popular product that we sell at Headlight Revolution when it comes to the off-road lineup. So it's no doubt that I would recommend this for your vehicle. The other one I would recommend is the combo beam pattern. It gives you that down the road punch, so if you are going really fast, I understand this truck can only go 100 and some, but if you are going really fast and you're bahaing, you maybe want that punch of light, which the combo beam pattern supplies. It also gives you a little bit more fill on the side of that spot beam, as you can see with this light output shot. If for some reason you are driving as fast as you can, bahaing in the desert, then there's also a spot beam pattern. The spot beam pattern is a little bit like the combo, but it directs all of that light, all of the attention to the center of the beam. This is really good if you're going really fast. So in my opinion, when you're driving around a Super Duty, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but it's whatever you guys want. If you have supplemental light already in the fog light area, or you've got a roof rack with some lighting up there and you just want more intense light, then sure, the spot beam pattern makes total sense. For me, I choose the wide or the combo. I would not choose the flood. If you've got flood facing forward, even though it's illuminating a big area, you're going to be blinding oncoming drivers, and that's the last thing you want. I mean, obviously you're not gonna have these on when you're driving down the road, but that light is actually gonna be reflecting on your hood and then blinding you. So it's not gonna actually help you. All you're gonna be doing is focusing on that light right in front of you. You don't even get to see the headlight output, so I wouldn't recommend that either. Now, that's the 4-banger, and then I know this gets a little complicated sometimes, but there is 2 different power levels. There's the entry level, which is the NCS, and then there's the brightest of bright, the world's brightest off-road pod light, the HXB version. The HXB is just based off of the chips that they use. They use Osram chips instead of Nichia chips like in the NCS. So that is the 4-banger. What about the 2-banger? Let's say you wanted just a small pod light right here on the ditch light bracket. The 2-banger comes in 4 different beam patterns as well. You got the spot, combo, wide, and flood. Same rules apply. I would recommend the combo beam pattern or a wide beam pattern. If you want the spot, sure, go right ahead. It's really up to you. I would not recommend the flood beam pattern right here. The 2-banger also has 2 different power levels as well, just like the 4-banger that you're seeing right here. The NCS, which is the entry, and the HXB, which is the brightest 2-banger pod light. These are really sleek, so you're not gonna hardly even see them when you're actually driving down the road. And lastly, the Morimoto BigBanger. Can you order this from our website? Yes, but in all seriousness, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it if vibrations bother you. While it looks really cool on your Super Duty when you have these BigBangers mounted on your ditch light brackets, in my opinion, I can't get over the vibrations because this is about a 4-pound pod light. It is really heavy, and when you put it on your ditch light bracket, it shakes a little bit. So when you're driving down the road, if that's something that will bother you, I wouldn't suggest installing the BigBangers on your Super Duty. Stick to the 2-bangers or the 4-bangers. Now these pod lights do only come with a spot beam and a combo beam so far. I heard they're developing more in the future, and I'm really looking forward to that. So I would recommend the combo beam if I had big bangers on my Super Duty. That gives you that little bit of additional fill. I know I just breezed through all of the off-road lineup from Morimoto, and I might have confused some of you guys, so let me just break it down really quick. When you have this stainless steel ditch light bracket, and you're going to put a pod light on there, you can choose a small Morimoto pod light, a medium Morimoto pod light, or a big pod light. And personally speaking, I don't really like the spot beam patterns. I would choose a beam pattern that's either a combo or a wide beam pattern. That's my own personal preference. Don't be putting a floodlight on here. It's actually gonna render it useless. You don't want that. That's really the fun part about all this, is getting to choose which kind of beam pattern, which kind of pod light you want. And lastly, something I didn't say, which color. They also are available in a white or a yellow color. That gets to be a lot of decisions, but they're all there at Headlight Revolution in the drop-down menu. You get to build this kit out exactly how you want. So if you're ready to have the absolute brightest off-road pod lights in the world on your Super Duty, you gotta check it out at headlightrevolution.com. Of course, this is a Super Duty. It's the most popular truck at Headlight Revolution, so we have tons of other products that we've tested as well. Headlight Revolution, we'll see you there.